There are invisible buttons in every woman's mind, switches that awaken desire before she even realizes it. Most men never see them, and the moment they miss them, attraction disappears. Today, you'll discover 3 hidden pleasure switches that make her notice you, crave you, and want you without her even saying a word. If you understand these, desire becomes unavoidable. There are things a woman feels before she even says a word, subtle currents of emotion and instinct that guide her attraction long before logic comes into play. Most men miss these entirely because they are hidden, unspoken, and almost impossible to notice unless you know exactly what to look for. Today, we're going to explore 3 pleasure switches that women can't resist, the triggers that awaken desire in ways that words, gifts, or attention alone never will. These aren't tricks or manipulations. They are psychological buttons embedded in her instinct, the parts of her mind and body that respond without hesitation. The first switch is presence. Not physical presence alone, but a kind of magnetic awareness that signals to her brain that you are fully there, fully grounded, and fully aware of yourself and her. It's the way your energy fills a room, the way your attention lands on her without clinging, without desperation. Women sense this instantly. They feel it in the tension between knowing you're interested and knowing you're not needy. It's a switch that flips when your confidence meets subtle curiosity, when your presence communicates that you are a man who knows what he wants, yet values her reaction enough to notice it. It's not about talking constantly or performing. It's about existing in a way that naturally draws her attention. When this switch is activated, she will lean in, she will listen more intently, and she will begin to feel the pull of desire before she even understands why. The second switch is anticipation. Women are wired to respond to the rhythm of tension and release, and anticipation is the emotional equivalent of a slow burning flame. This is not about playing games, it's about creating a natural pattern that triggers excitement in her nervous system. It can be as simple as pausing before answering her, leaving a slight mystery in your words, or sending signals that your interest is genuine but measured. Anticipation builds a subconscious craving, a mental loop where she starts imagining, wondering, and longing before anything physical even happens. The key is subtlety. Overdo it and it becomes manipulation. Underdo it and it's invisible. But when done correctly, it creates a friction that she can't ignore, a silent current that keeps her thinking about you, wanting more, and feeling desire rise without even realizing it. Women love to be pulled forward emotionally, to feel that slight tension of possibility. And once this switch is triggered, you've entered a space where attraction grows almost automatically, guided by her instincts, not her conscious mind. The third switch is touch, but not in the obvious way. This isn't about grabbing or overtly sexual contact. It's about the nuanced ways that touch communicates safety, power, and connection simultaneously. A brush of the hand, a guiding gesture, or a light contact at the right moment can communicate intent and awaken the body's natural response to closeness. Women feel everything in their bodies before they process it in their minds, and the right kind of touch can trigger desire in ways that words cannot. The energy behind the touch is more important than the act itself. A confident, deliberate, and attentive touch signals that you understand her, that you are present, and that you can give and receive pleasure without overstepping boundaries. When this switch is flipped, the emotional and physical currents merge, creating a magnetic tension that pulls her closer, keeps her attention, and awakens feelings that she may not even consciously admit. It is a language of instinct, spoken fluently by those who know how to read the subtle cues of attraction. What ties these 3 switches together is timing and authenticity. None of them work if you're performing, if you're anxious, or if you're trying to manufacture attraction. Presence, anticipation, and touch are triggers that respond to your inner state. When you are calm, confident, and aware, these switches are almost unavoidable. They are deeply rooted in the way women experience desire, and once you understand them, you can navigate connection in a way that feels effortless yet irresistible. The power of these switches is not in forcing reactions, but in creating an environment where desire naturally flows, where a woman's instincts guide her attention, and where attraction is an inevitable consequence of how you show up. Men often overlook these because society teaches them to focus on words, gifts, or external validation, when the real signals of desire are almost entirely non-verbal, instinctive, and deeply psychological. Learning to recognize, activate, and respect these pleasure switches changes the dynamic completely. It moves interaction from negotiation and performance to instinct and natural chemistry. Once you master presence, anticipation, and touch, you understand not only how to capture attention, but how to sustain desire, how to make her feel a magnetic pull toward you that is almost impossible to resist. These switches aren't about control, they're about awareness, understanding, and creating connection at the deepest, most instinctual level. And when you get them right, you don't need advice, tactics, or scripts to maintain attraction. Desire becomes a natural byproduct of your presence, your timing, and your ability to communicate with her subconscious mind.